Now, when we have understood the steps involved in writing an essay, where you are supposed to follow the structure of prompt, plan, produce, and proofread, it is time to go for understanding the evaluation criteria. So I'll quickly share the screen and we will go through the evaluation criteria. Now, the question is, why should you know about evaluation criteria? Once you are clear about how your essay or graph would be evaluated, you would follow the right path or the right structure. You would give evidence to the examiner to give marks to you. So see, all these tests, whether we talk about IELTS, TOEFL, SAT, or any other test, they are structured tests. So when we say that they are structured tests, they check your skills with respect to certain fixed blue point or certain fixed milestones and criteria. So it is very important to get into the examiner's mindset or understand the examiner's mindset as to how your essay would be evaluated. Is it something which is on knowledge? Is it something which is based on your depiction of ideas, artistic writing, vocabulary, grammar? So what exactly are the things on which you're going to get marks has to be very clear to you. All right, so let's look at the four criteria or the 4 points on which your IELTS essay is evaluated. The first strike criteria is task completion. Now, what does this task completion mean? Task completion means you have answered all the parts of the question. So if the question has got, let's say there are 2 question marks in the question statement, you should answer both of those statements separately. As we saw the example, like it happiness is very important in our life. Why is it difficult to define? Which factors contribute to the happiness of a person? So if you look at the question prompt, there are two separate questions here. First is, why is it difficult to define? And the second is, what factors contribute to the happiness of a person? So you have to answer these 2 questions separately. Then only you would have answered the complete question and it would qualify for a complete answer. You should write at least 250 words. So more than 250 is fine. You can write 260, 270 words, but it should not be 249. Try not to go beyond 290 or 300, because the more you write, the more errors you commit, and that you do not get any extra marks for writing extra words. You should try to summarize your content and stuff in uh, around 250, like around 270 words, 280 to 290 words, I would say. Do not go beyond that. Um, As far as the distribution of marks is concerned, you get 2 questions in your IELTS writing. The first is task 1 and the second we call it as task 2. Task 1 is of 3 bands and task 2 is of 6 bands. Now this is not documented by British Council or IDP anywhere, but this is the general understanding that you get around 6 bands on the second task and 3 bands on the first one. Task completion also involves examples. So in case the question has very specifically asked, so in the question rubric, you will always find that they say elaborate your answers by giving examples from your own life or your own experience. So you can give examples from your own experience there, and experience. Your examples do contribute to the completion of your essay. In case you have not given examples, it would be considered as an incomplete one. So make sure that you elaborate your answers with appropriate essays. Cohesion coherence means your essay should be easy to understand and you should have used proper linking devices to connect your thoughts. In a separate video, we are going to see what exactly are the different devices to link your thoughts. You can either use enumeration, wherein you say firstly, secondly, thirdly, in case the topic falls into certain prioritization of ideas where something is most important. So you can say firstly, the second important thing comes at the second place, the third important thing comes at the third place, or you can use the most important point to note is another factor that contributes to happiness is not to forget. So like this, you can prioritize. And of course, what is most important comes first. The point which is a little less important comes second, and the least important one comes third. So like this, you can use firstly, secondly, thirdly to organize your thoughts. So how you organize your thoughts, if is the essay easy to understand, you know, there is a natural flow in terms of writing proper paragraphs. One paragraph talks about one particular topic only. So there, and while writing paragraphs, you can follow the structure of theme, example, and explanation. So whenever you draft a paragraph, the first sentence should be the theme sentence. There are various factors, or different people give there are various factors which contribute to the happiness of an individual, or the factors that contribute to the happiness of an individual differ from person to person. Yeah, you know, the factors that make a person happy uh, are varied. So this is the topic sentence. The most common factor is living with family and having good friends around. Some people give, on the other hand, but some people give higher priority to material wealth and material possessions. On the other hand, so you know, you can talk about various factors, but then you are using a certain structure in depicting your thoughts. And one paragraph is talking about one thing only. So in case you are talking about factors, just talk about factors. And then you can talk about why is it difficult to define, or if the question is why is it difficult to define, first talk about that first, devote one complete paragraph to that, and then you talk about the factors that make you happy. So like this, you can draft your thoughts. After this, I'm going to give you some sample essays. One good way of developing your writing skills is by following some good samples. As it is generally said, good artists copy, great artists steal. I have not said this. This is something which is said by Picasso. When we say that you are supposed to steal something, it means that you should adopt someone's style and skills in such a way that it should look like yours. Like many actors copy other actors, but they give their unique twist to the presentation. Similarly, it is okay to copy the stuff, copy content from someone, but you have to give your unique twist. It should not look like a copy paste material. So yeah, in case you have some good samples to follow, do follow those samples. At the end of the day, we learn from each other, but then give your unique twist. Make sure that presentation is your unique presentation. The third criteria of evaluation is vocabulary. You're not supposed to use heavy words, but you are supposed to use contextual vocabulary, words which fall in words which sound very natural in the given context. Like for example, if the essay is from some academic subject, then words like classroom or curriculum or course structure fall very well. If it is related to environment, then sustainable lifestyle falls into that category. So use appropriate words which fit in the given situation, not necessarily difficult or heavy words. Make sure that your spellings are clear and correct. The last criteria is that of grammar, and with respect to grammar, we are going to study a few things like you have to make use of some long and short sentences, a few complex sentences which start with though or although, where you are showcasing your ability to write long sentences. You can definitely use some templates. Thanks to unprecedented development in the field of science and technology, the world is transformed into a global village. So a few structures you can follow and use, uh, and a collection of phrases like 20, 30 phrases which depict different types of situations, writing an introduction, contradiction. The purpose is not to undermine the importance of health, or the purpose is not to undermine the importance of money. However, health takes higher precedence over material possessions, according to me. So, these kind of structures where the purpose is not to undermine. Now, an essay is more or less a collection of some fixed scenarios. And for those scenarios, we can always have a collection of phrases ready with us. So that contributes to good grammar also, wherein you are making use of short and long sentences and you are not reinventing the wheel there. Again, please don't get me wrong. I'm not an advocate of mugging up structures, but then I definitely suggest going with some templates that you can readily use in your writing, and use them very cautiously and carefully. It should fall in place. It should be in sync with what you are writing or speaking, so that it does not look like uh, it should not look out of place. So as far as grammar is concerned, you are supposed to showcase your range and accuracy. Range is a collection of long and short sentences. We call them as complex and compound sentences, which we'll separately study. Then accuracy, which is how accurate is your depiction. Are you using the grammatical structures as per the rules of grammar? And as I said, you should learn some standard phrases for it. So to come back to what we studied, you are supposed to make use of uh, this is the evaluation criteria and should be aware of that. Task completion, cohesion, coherence, grammar, and vocabulary are the four points on which you are supposed uh, to these are the 4 points on which your essay would be evaluated. Thank you so much. In the next video, we'll take some examples and that will give us an opportunity to learn more. Thank you so much.